So here we're going to do a second example of analysis of variance. In this video, we're going to focus on understanding why it's an analysis of variance problem, and then just how to get the StatCrunch output. And then we'll do the actual doing the steps and interpretations in a separate video. So here we're interested in comparing house prices in 4 different areas of Burlington, Edgewood, Florence, and Independence. I took a random sample of those houses listed by Sipsey Klein and got the results in thousands of dollars. So let's just stop there to understand first why we're doing analysis of variance. So we are trying to compare house prices, so a price is a quantitative variable, in 4 different areas. So we have the area as our categorical variable with 4 different options of Burlington, Edgewood, Florence, and Independence. So I'm comparing this quantitative variable in more than 3 groups in this instance. So let's first look at the data by loading it here into StatCrunch. So this data set is provided for you so that you can make sure you get the same thing that I do. So for me, I'm just going to browse my computer to find where I've saved it. So here's our data set, and I'm just going to load it. So first, just looking at the actual data, this is where it's organized a little bit differently than it was in the very first example we did. Here we have one of our columns represents our categorical variable of area, and the other column represents our quantitative variable of price. As it said though, price is in thousands of dollars. So when we see 153.9, that's $153,900 when we actually see that. Because recall here, when we're doing StatCrunch, there was 2 different ways the data could be organized. So now I have 2 variables where one is the group and one is our other measurement here of the price. We're going to go to the same menu option. So I'm going to go to Stat, ANOVA, one way. But this time my values are actually in a single column because my values are that price. So my responses are that price variable, and my factor is the other variable of area. The other thing I need here to get all of my StatCrunch output is to go ahead and I'm going to do this compute that Tukey HSD. I do need to figure out what confidence level to use though. So if we go back and look at our example, it tells us that we're going to be using a 0.10 significance level, or a 10% significance level. So my confidence interval is 1 minus that, which would be 0.9, or 90% confidence level. So I'm going to change this then to be 0.9 or 0.90, same thing. Then if I hit compute, I'm going to get all of the output that I need. So I have my mean so that I can compare things later to make sure I'm not saying something that contradicts my data. I have my p-value, my f-stat, my mean squares to do my f-statistic calculation. I have all of these confidence intervals that are provided there for me. And so all of that output is provided here for you. Of course, on quizzes and tests, I would have to give you some of this output, but again, notice I sometimes delete parts of it. So again, as a quick refresher, example 1 had the sample separated by column, and here our example 2 has the other option of the 2 variables where one is the group and the one is the other measurement. And so we did have to go to StatCrunch in a slightly different way for that. In the next video, we'll pick up and actually use this output to go through and analyze our data.